Hi, my name is Delina Alamir Karimi. The time is currently 3:42 p.m. and the date is March 29th, and I want to introduce to you guys the person I am interviewing. So, would you like to start off with your name?
Hi, my name is Miss B.
So, I would like to interview Miss B today because Miss B, as like myself, is an immigrant of the United States, and I thought that she would be the perfect candidate for this interview because the questions I'm going to be asking are about immigration and immigration process with education system. So first, let's start off with how old were you when you immigrated to the United States?
I was 14 years old when I came here.
You were 14 years old, and did you and your family all immigrate together to come to the US?
No, actually, my parents have sent my brother few years earlier. After he was done with high school, actually no, he was in the last year of high school when he came here, and he was with another family, and then he went to college. And a few years later, my sister came to join my brother, and then my mom and myself came. So we didn't all come together. Then, like a year later, my dad came, and another couple of years later, my oldest sister came. So we didn't all come together, but it was nice to already have a family when my mom and I came. So my sister and my brother were already here, so we just joined them.
Yeah, I think that's really interesting. Same for me. When my family and I immigrated as well, my father would come to America before us, and he would stay for a long time due to the process of becoming a US citizen, and my family from my father's side also was here before us. So I think that's interesting that we both share that in common.
Yes, that's definitely a good support for the newcomers to have family or friends here that they can somehow rely on or ask questions to start off their life.
Yeah, I definitely agree with you. So, going up with that, what year did you immigrate, and was it a difficult year for you?
I immigrated at 1985 when I had just turned 14. So I was just basically 13, had just becoming turning 14. It was a very difficult time because I was in middle school, and middle school was hard as it was already. Then I had to come here in middle school and start everything all new. I used to go to an all girls school, and I started school here, going to a co-ed school, and it was hard to adjust to the culture. The culture was definitely very, very different, and and I was very shy and timid. Then I just had to speak everything in English. I did have some English classes. I've always had English classes when I was growing up in Iran. I did know some English, but not a good conversational English. I could understand more than I could speak. And anyways, I was shy to speak it. So I had to take extra English classes to get up to par a little bit before even starting middle school here. And middle school was just, I thought it was, the year I went to middle school was very, very difficult for me. Like I was shocked. I was shocked because of the culture, my school classes, the education system, and I had to do everything in English. Yeah, it was a very hard year.
Yeah, I definitely sympathize with you, and I feel where you're coming from because my family and I also immigrated at the I immigrated at the age of 6, so I had to start elementary school here. I didn't do more school like you did in Iran, so I don't know the educational system in Iran as well as you do. However, changing from Iran's I like just in general, changing from Iran to America was
Sure.
probably the most difficult thing I did at a young age, and having to
Yeah.
learn English and having to go to school in a completely different setting with people who did not speak the same native language as me, and it
Mm-hmm.
was definitely difficult. I wouldn't be here today if it wasn't for my family and the support of my family, because it was very hard to be able to learn everything on my own, especially when you're at a young age. You feel more
Yeah.
alone learning a language or immigrating from wherever you're immigrating from.
Yeah, and everything would seem, I would imagine, very scary because it was for me. Just like going to a store to get something, everything was very scary because everything was new, and just had to learn everything from basic all
Yeah,
over. Yeah.
I definitely agree. Following up with that, the next question I have for you is, before immigration and leaving Iran, how was your life in Iran? Were you happy with Iran's educational system?
Life in Iran was, for me, was very easy. Um, mm, we um, we were very well off in Iran, and just it was a very easy life. As far as education, uh, education was a lot harder in elementary and middle school in Iran, and of course in high school. I didn't go to Iran to high school, but education was the level of education was a lot more difficult. So when I came here, um, one of my biggest challenges was to acclimate to the culture, and just had to learn English, conversational English, and also but things like math was very, very easy for me because I didn't have to force myself to do anything. It was one of the easiest classes I took because like the level of education was different. Also, other classes I took was generally easy. I just had to learn everything in English. So yeah, as far as education, it was a lot harder in Iran.
Yeah, and like I said, I myself only went up until preschool in Iran, but however, my family who did have a better education system in Iran and did go up further grades than I did before moving here, they always would tell me how much more ahead Iran is in math, especially math, like you said. When you came
Yeah.
here, it was much easier for you. And I think
Mhm.
that's interesting because a lot of people have a stereotype against education where they think of immigrants leaving their country for better hopes of education here, and which
Mhm.
is true. My parents did leave Iran for better hopes of education system for me and my brother here in the United States. However, I don't think it's talked about how smart the people of Iran are due to the educational system they are put through in Iran, which I think
Yeah.
is interesting to be talked about.
Yeah, they also came because they didn't like the the regime and what was going on, and just pretty much everything is going down with the government. Another major reason they came was political, was the amount of freedom that you can have here, and they wanted us to grow in not a restricted society, but like a free society, and I understand like what freedom is actually. But as far as education, um, I would say yes. In elementary, middle, high school, education level was a lot harder in Iran. Yeah, and it was higher.
Yeah, thank you for speaking on that. The next question I have for you was, as an immigrant, what are some of the most challenges you and your family faced?
I would say the hardest thing was to acclimate to the culture and society, the way people think and act and dress and like just carry themselves in general. That was hard. Also, trying, starting from, like I said, we were well off in Iran, and here we just kind of had to start from the beginning. The whole family we all had to start from beginning. We all had to work, and due to Iran's situation, we weren't able to bring a lot of money that we had there with us. So here we come to a free country, trying to live here and trying to fit in. But we all had to work. So that I think was difficult because like some of us never worked and just had to learn how to live and work. It was a different system in Iran, so we all had to generate some income to help out.
Yeah, and I can really feel on that story because my parents were the same exact way. Coming to the United States, we were also doing very well in Iran, and my parents had a very good life for us in Iran. However, like you said, because of the regime and wanting a better life for us and to be able to provide us the freedom that the US provides, they wanted us to come here. And so I think it's really important to shine a light on this topic and to bring awareness to why it's important, to why we decided to leave Iran, and to um, speak on this topic is important to me because it really changed my life around. And although we did struggle a lot when we first moved here from Iran, my parents are doing much better now, and I'm sure you guys are as well. And that wouldn't be possible without being able to immigrate. And so
Yeah, I
that's
think
really
there's a lot more opportunities for people who are willing to work hard and educate themselves. And that's what it was. It was opportunities after the education that you have here that you were not able to have in Iran, as far as like, especially because of the regime change in Iran. There wasn't a lot of opportunities for people, even very highly educated people, to do what they wanted to do and to have good jobs. But here, I feel like it's totally true land of opportunities, because if you're really trying and willing to work hard, you can change your life.
I agree with you, and that's why I think immigration is so important, and so important to let people have the chance to be able to immigrate, because maybe they want to have a successful future, but they don't have the options that they would do if they moved to another country. Or maybe they want an educational system to be able to be educated, but the country they're currently in does not allow that. And so
Yes.
it's a very fortunate thing that we were able to become immigrants and to become successful in a country where we felt like strangers when we first came.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah, so I would like to ask you the last question, and then we will be done with our interview.
Okay.
So, are there any changes that you would want to see in the immigration system? And if there is not any changes that you would like to see, how would you like to describe the educational system?
Um, the question is if I want to see any changes in the immigration system.
Correct.
In the,
For people
okay.
who have just come to who have just come to the country, and if they have not, if they have not, then what is it for a better educational system?
As far as immigration, I think I always have a soft spot for the immigrants, and especially the ones that are really honestly trying to do their best, with education and go to school and do the best and do the hardest and, be positive people in society and people who are actually really want to give back to society. But I do think that there should also be some restrictions. Like they have to have a good background check on people because, you don't want people, you can't just like open all the, I do have a soft spot, as I said, but you can't just open the border for any kind of people with, not so good of a background as far as like if they have been criminals in the country and they're just going to be create more chaos here. But if they really want to come here for betterment of their family, to work hard and to just make their dreams come true, yes, I think this is the land of opportunity and they can do it. But it would be good to do really good background checks and see they're the right people that are coming here because yeah.
Yeah, I agree with you. I think it's okay to let people in and to bring in immigrants, but we want to make sure that it's safe and
It's
done
exactly.
correctly. Yes. Well, thank you so much for your time. I really
Of
appreciate
course, it
you.
was my pleasure. Thank you for choosing me.
Of course. Thank you for being able to do the interview with me. I hope you have a good rest of your day.
Thank you. Same to you. Take care.
Thank you.